Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tombstones and Travels. This week, I'm going to continue my visit to Charles County, Maryland. Last week's video, I visited the home of Dr. Samuel Mudd, the man who treated John Wilkes Booth following the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. After shooting Lincoln, who was sitting in the presidential box at Ford's Theater in Washington, Booth jumped from the box onto the stage, breaking his leg in the process. Booth still managed to escape, and a few hours later, he and his traveling companion, David Herold, arrived at the home of Dr. Samuel Mudd, seeking treatment for the broken leg. Dr. Mudd treated Booth's broken leg and allowed the pair to rest at his home for several hours. Booth and Herold left Dr. Mudd's home in the early evening of April 15th, 1865, and under the cover of darkness, made their way about 15 miles south to Rich Hill Farm. Rich Hill Farm had a rich history, even before Booth and Herold arrived here in the early morning hours of April 16, 1865. Rich Hill was the birthplace of Dr. Gustavus Brown and his sister Margaret. Margaret Brown grew up and would marry Thomas Stone, one of our founding fathers and a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Dr. Brown was a friend of George Washington and was one of the president's personal physicians. Dr. Brown was one of the physicians who tended President Washington on his deathbed at Mount Vernon. On April 16, 1865, Rich Hill Farm was owned by a man named Samuel Cox, who had inherited the property in 1849. Booth and Herold arrived here at the property in the early morning hours of April 16th. Cox assisted by providing the pair with a meal. He later claimed that he had sent them on their way, and the two fugitives were never allowed inside his home. Cox told his foster brother, Thomas Jones, to care for the fugitives and assist them while they were hiding in a nearby pine thicket. During the time that they were hiding in the pine thicket, Jones provided Booth and Herold with newspapers and food. It was during this time that Booth learned that he was regarded as a criminal, even in the South, where he had hoped to be thought of as a hero. The pair hid in these woods from April 16th to April 21st, 1865. From here, they made their way across the Rappahannock River and entered Virginia near Port Royal. After crossing the river, Booth and Herold eventually made their way here to this spot on U.S. Highway 301. Back in 1865, this was the site of the Garrett Farm. The pair took refuge in the Garrett barn. It was here, at the Garrett Farm, that members of the 16th New York Cavalry caught up with Booth and Herold. They surrounded the barn, and Herold eventually gave up, but Booth refused and was eventually shot by Sergeant Boston Corbett. Booth died a short time later on the front porch of the Garrett home. Today, the only thing that remains of this historic site is a Virginia historical marker in the northbound lane of Highway 301. Several years ago, I stopped here and walked into the median strip where the Garrett barn and home once stood. During that visit, the location was overgrown, but the barn site was marked by 4 corner posts. I'll post some photos from that visit. This site is closed now and no longer accessible to the public. And this is what the site looks like today as you drive northbound on Highway 301 toward Port Royal, Virginia. Behind that chain, in the median of this busy highway, is where the life of John Wilkes Booth came to an end. John Wilkes Booth's journey ended here at the Garrett Farm in Caroline County, Virginia. But my journey has one more stop. Next week, I'm going to head back across the Rappahannock River into Maryland. Until then, I hope everybody has a good week. And remember, life is a wonderful journey. Be sure to take time and enjoy it. And I'll see you down the road. So long, everybody.